If a woman likes you, she won't always come right out and say it. Instead, she'll drop subtle hints, little phrases that reveal far more than she realizes. In this video, we're breaking down 7 specific things women say when they're catching feelings for you, all backed by psychology. Some of these are obvious once you know them, but others? Most men completely miss them, especially number 5. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot these signs with confidence, and you'll know exactly what to do when you hear them. Welcome back to Stoic Vars, where we decode human behavior, attraction, and relationships through the lens of psychology. My goal here is to help you not just guess how someone feels, but actually understand the science and patterns behind their words and actions. Think about this. Most of the time, attraction doesn't start with a grand declaration. It starts small. A choice of words. A small memory she brings up. A joke that's only between you two. And if you're not paying attention, those moments can slip right by. So today, we're going deep. We're going to slow down, dissect each phrase, and talk about exactly why it's meaningful, what it reveals about her feelings, and how you should respond if you want to keep that connection growing. Let's start with one of the clearest signs. 1. She brings up the future with you. When a woman starts to picture you in her future, even in small ways, it's a major sign of growing emotional investment. She might casually say, "We should go to that new rooftop cafe when the weather gets nicer," or "You'd love the festival my friends and I go to every summer." Now, here's the key. These aren't empty words. In psychology, there's something called future pacing. When we mentally place someone in upcoming events, it means we're already emotionally linking them to our life beyond the present moment. Think about how you make plans. You don't just invite anyone to something weeks from now. You reserve that mental space for people you care about, people you want around. When she's doing this with you, it's the same thing. Mini example. Imagine you've only been talking to a woman for a couple of weeks, and she says, "When autumn comes, we should go pumpkin picking." That's months away. It's not just about pumpkins, it's her subconscious telling you she sees you still being around then. What to do? When you hear future-oriented language, don't just say, "Yeah, maybe." Lean in. Show enthusiasm. Respond with something like, "That sounds amazing, let's put it on the calendar." This tells her you're equally open to being part of her future, which strengthens the connection. And remember, she might start small before building to bigger things. First, it's coffee next week. Then, it's a concert in 2 months. Eventually, it's talking about shared goals. That progression is how casual interest turns into something deeper. 2. She asks personal, deep questions. Small talk is surface level, it's safe, it's polite, and it doesn't require emotional investment. But when a woman starts asking you personal, deeper questions, she's no longer just filling silence. She's intentionally trying to understand you on a more intimate level. Instead of, "How was your day?" she might say, "What made you choose the career you're in? What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? What's your family like?" These questions are designed to tap into your values, your past experiences, and your dreams, areas that are far more vulnerable than small talk. Psychologically, this is connected to something called the self-disclosure theory. The more someone reveals about themselves and encourages you to do the same, the more trust and intimacy grow. Mini example. You're talking about a song you love, and she suddenly asks, "Does it remind you of someone?" That's not casual. That's her trying to peek into the emotional parts of your life. What to do? Answer honestly, but also reciprocate. If she asks about your dream travel destination, answer, and then ask hers. This creates a back-and-forth loop of shared openness, which deepens attraction faster than most people realize. 3. She uses more we than I. Language is powerful because it reveals subconscious thinking. When she starts replacing I with we, she's mentally grouping you together. This could sound like, "We should try that place sometime. We would totally win at that game. We could make a great team at trivia night." Why does this matter? According to relationship psychology, inclusive pronouns signal a shift from individual identity toward a shared one. It's not just about words, it's about perspective. She's no longer seeing you as a separate entity but as part of her own little us. Mini example. You're watching a movie trailer and she says, "We'd probably cry watching that." The we wasn't necessary, but she said it naturally, without thinking. What to do? Mirror it. When she says we, you can reinforce it with, "Yeah, we totally would." Subtle affirmations like this tell her that you're comfortable being part of that we, which encourages her to keep framing you that way. 4. She gives genuine compliments about your character. Not just looks. Compliments about appearance are nice, but they're easy to give and often shallow. The real sign of deeper interest is when she compliments qualities that reflect who you are rather than just what you look like. She might say things like, "You have such a calming presence. I really admire how passionate you are about your work. You're one of the most reliable people I've met." From a psychological standpoint, compliments about character traits show she's been observing you over time and values qualities that matter in a long-term partner. This isn't just attraction, it's respect. Mini example. You help a friend move, and she says, "That's so kind of you. Not everyone would do that." That's not a throwaway comment. It's her pointing out she sees you as someone with depth and integrity. What to do? Acknowledge the compliment, but don't brush it off. Say something like, "Thanks, that means a lot coming from you." This not only shows appreciation but also subtly affirms that you value her opinion of you. 5. She remembers small details you mentioned. In casual conversation, most details slip away. But if a woman is genuinely interested, she will lock in on things you say, sometimes even tiny things you've forgotten mentioning, and bring them up later. She might remember your favorite coffee order, the name of your childhood dog, that you mentioned you had a big meeting on Wednesday. Psychologically, this is linked to selective attention. We remember what matters to us. If she's holding on to these little details, it's because you matter. Mini example. Weeks after you told her you love blueberry muffins, she shows up with one just because. That's not coincidence, it's intentional. What to do? Show appreciation and reciprocate. If she remembers your favorite snack, remember her go-to comfort food. This mutual attention creates a feedback loop of care and consideration. 6. She shares personal stories or secrets. When someone starts revealing personal stories, especially vulnerable or slightly embarrassing ones, it's a sign of trust. Women don't open up like this to just anyone. This could sound like, "When I was in high school, I had the most awkward crush. Not many people know this, but I can't believe I'm telling you this." In psychology, this is part of emotional intimacy building. Sharing personal narratives creates a bond that surface-level conversation can't. Mini example. She tells you about a time she completely embarrassed herself at a work event. She's not trying to impress you in that moment. She's trying to connect with you through authenticity. What to do? Respond with empathy and your own stories. When she shares, she's inviting you into her personal world. Accepting that invitation builds mutual trust. 7. She playfully teases you or uses inside jokes. Playful teasing is one of the clearest signs of comfort and affection. If she's making light fun of you, your coffee addiction, your bad singing voice, your obsession with a certain TV show, it's not to insult you. It's to create a flirtatious, low-pressure bond. Inside jokes are even more telling. If you both laugh about something that happened once and she keeps bringing it up, she's reinforcing a shared emotional memory, something only the two of you get. Mini example. You once tripped over your words ordering food, and she still brings it up weeks later with a smile. That's her way of saying, "We have our own little thing." What to do? Tease her back, playfully, respectfully. Build on the inside jokes. This not only keeps the vibe fun but also deepens your personal connection. So there you have it. 7 things women say when they're catching feelings for you. They might not be grand romantic speeches, but trust me, they're far more powerful. Why? Because they're natural, unforced, and rooted in genuine connection. If you've been noticing any of these signs, pay attention to the pattern. One on its own could mean nothing. But several together? That's when you know something real is developing. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more psychology-based relationship insights, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Vase and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. And if you've heard any of these phrases from someone in your life, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Remember, attraction isn't about guessing games. It's about awareness, understanding, and the courage to act when the signs are there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.